Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Board Game Nerds. Today, we're talking about our top 10 games from Essen Spiel 2025. We've previously made our most anticipated list, so today we're seeing if that list paid off. For transparency, this is December 8th, so we gave it some time to see, let the games settle and see how they worked. Anything you want to add, Ulrik, before we begin?
Just that, lots of awesome games. We had to do some hard choices to get this filtered. And this is about the games that were the best from Essen. We have an audio episode, which is episode 56, which was best nerdtivities, I think we called it.
Nerdtivities, exactly.
More like the experiences, or maybe it was a game, but it was the experience of playing the game. This is more like the game itself. How good is that?
Yeah, I think the Nerdtivities episodes are some of my favorite. I think you should go and listen to it just to see what Essen actually feels like and what experiences you can gain from visiting there, besides buying a billion board games you have no place to store.
Yeah, so it's been now 2 months since we came back, so we've had an opportunity to play most of the games we bought.
Most asterisks.
Yes.
All right, let's see what we actually anticipated. So this is our anticipated list. As you can see from me, it was in ascending order: Bohemians, Popcorn, Cassette Dungeons, Hercules and the 12 Labors, and Tag Team. And for Ulrik was...
My anticipated game before I went was Emberheart, Fear of the Dark, Ruins, Rising Cultures, and House of Fado.
Perfect. Just seeing this list, I gotta tell you that Hercules and the 12 Labors, for example, didn't even make it to Essen. So there's definitely gonna be some differences from that already.
Yeah. And one of these games in my list I didn't buy and I haven't tried.
Ooh.
So I changed my hype before.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dum, dum, dum.
Shall we get into it?
Let's get to it.
All right. My number 5 game is the same as my anticipated, Bohemians. Designed by Jasper de Lange, Bohemians is a very thematic deck building game in which you are aspiring artists and trying to make it out in the world. 2 things won me over about this game. The first one was the theme. It's magnificent. Just the way the cards look and the way they feel, it's very, very nice. And the second thing is what we call the atelier. To explain the atelier, I have to talk to a little bit about the game. It is a deck building game. In every turn, you play 3 or 4 cards, and you try and play your cards in order to match their symbols. Every card will have up to 3 symbols in their corners, and then you match them and try to get as many as possible. You then use the amount of symbols you got to buy new cards or store symbols you don't use in your atelier.
Yeah.
And then you can use the stored points in your atelier, which is like inspiration never goes away. You just have to find a better day to use it. And then do some different benefits like removing cards from your deck or drawing extra cards and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Really like the game. It reminded me a little bit of another game called After Us, which also has the same feel. I don't know which one I like best most. Maybe here our top 100 coming up to find out. And Bohemians was pretty cool. The experience with Jasper de Lange also must have been cool for you as well. We had an interview and a playthrough.
Yeah, we have a playthrough and an interview with Jasper on the channel. One of our early videos. Go and watch that. With the link here somewhere. It's really cool. The theme really spoke to me. Yeah. I feel the more I play it, the less the theme shines through and the more it becomes symbol matching.
Yeah, for sure.
For me personally.
For sure.
But I really, if I actually look at the card and see what they're called, they go like, oh, you got the, you wandered around looking at the sunshine all day, so you got inspired, or you got a poverty card, so now you don't have money enough to buy food. Yeah, it's in that way. It's very, very thematic and cool. And I have played the solo.
Oh, how does that feel?
Very different.
Okay.
Almost not the same game.
Okay. That can go both ways.
I think it was cool.
Okay.
I played it late and I had to rush through it because I had to give my copy back to Jasper. So maybe I made some rule screws. I felt like it was too easy. Because Jasper said it was really hard. I just beat all 3 modes first play.
Or maybe you're just a goat.
No, I think I may have missed some penalties and stuff. But it's really cool. You play against an engine that takes away your cards and gives you, what do they call the bad cards? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But it really changes the whole mechanic of the game. You're not trying to buy the gold cards. You're trying to do something else, which is cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Take it away.
My number 5 is a game called National Economy. This was not on my most anticipated games for the very simple reason that I had never heard of it. It sounded very boring to me. The designer, I will mention that before I say how boring it is. No. The designer of the game is Hiroshi Nishimura, I'm gonna say.
Yep, sounds correct.
no, it's not boring game. The title is boring to me, and the box doesn't sell it for me.
It looks like a book, not a board
Yeah.
game.
I was imagining, a stock market with prices going up and down, and you have to sell at the right time, and I don't like that.
Nope.
What the game actually is I don't want to call it a tableau builder, but it's cards coming out in a steady flow, and every card is a worker placement spot. Almost every card. There is no board in this game. You have 4 starting cards in the layout, which can do things like build a building, draw a card, draw another card, and get another worker. That's your actions in the first game. Then every turn a new card comes out. There's 4 rounds, nine rounds in the game, which sounds like a lot. It's not. Every time I play this game, I'm like trying to get this engine going, but I always have to pay my workers. These workers need money. It's so annoying.
I don't know why.
It's so annoying. I think that's thematic, probably. But then I'm like, oh, I have this cool card I want to play, but it requires a lot of cards, and now I'm ready to play. Oh, we're at round 7. Can I then actually do my thing that I was playing for the whole game? That's every time I played it. That's the feeling I've had. But as I said, every turn a new card comes out, and it's the same 9 cards that come out in each game. So I can't do math live, but the same cards are coming out, same 13, 14 cards or whatever, is in every game. So you can plan, okay, I know in the 8th round this card will come out, so I can use that. Then you can you get cards in your hand, and you can play them. And this is my personal worker placement spot that Nick cannot use until I have to pay my workers. And if I can't pay them, I have to sell my card. When I sell my card, I put it in the tableau in the middle, so now Nick can use it as well. That's really cool.
Fun stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of money is really tight. And every turn you have to pay your workers an increasing amount of salaries per worker. And when you do that, you pay that money into what is called the budget. It's a box that is in the middle of the table. You have the bank, which is something
Somewhere,
else.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the money you get from the budget, not from the bank. Which means if I have a card that says discard a card and get 10 money, but there's only 8 in the budget, what happens?
No money.
I can't do it because there's not enough money. And that, in some of our playthroughs, we have 3 videos on the channel. Some of them is like, oh, now I can get this. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I know that my opponent can get 20 from the budget. So if I just get 5, then there's only 16 left in the budget. So I'm cheating him for a lot of... That dynamic is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way of actually using interaction. I've only played the game once as a solo game. I would love to deep more into it. I've seen you guys play in the playthroughs and stuff, and it looks very cool. It looks definitely like a Nick game. I haven't done it, so that's why you will not see this game in my top Essen games list.
Yeah, just to make sure, if you look at the picture, this has Japanese text. Our copy has English text.
Yeah. You would imagine we speak Japanese, we do not.
And I said money is tight. Someone calls this a tableau builder, but I rarely have more than 2 or 3 cards in my tableau.
I call it tableau builder.
But you're always building
easy.
stuff, and then I have to pay, because almost in every turn you have to choose, do I get money to pay my guys, or do I build a building? And very often when you build that building, then you will sell it for the money value it has.
And the previous week, the episode we released on the podcast was top 10 N and O games between me and Ayub. So somebody might have mentioned it there. So go have a look at what they think about the game.
And one thing we haven't mentioned yet is that in this game, there are actually 3 different games.
True.
You have one box with the common cards, and then you can choose which of the other 3 decks you play with. And they are different enough that they feel different, but the rules are the same. So it's not like you have to relearn something completely different, which is really nice. But they do change up a little bit, and there's 1 or 2 new mechanics.
And from what I remember Ayub saying is that back in the day, I think 10 years ago when it came out, it released 3 different games. Yeah. And this version is like a new condensed with everything that's inside.
Really cool.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Righty.
My number 4 game, once again, stayed at the same spot, and that is Popcorn, designed by Victor Salmont. Popcorn is a backbuilding game where each player has their own cinema, and you try to build it to be as amazing as possible, filming the best movies so that people want to come and watch your movies. I think it's a very interesting game. I think that when I first saw it, I wanted it to be a bit more heavy than it actually turning out to be. I pictured something like an Orleans with a nice theme. It wasn't. It's something like a family Orleans that went on vacation, something like that. There is some interaction in the game, but it's not that annoying. You can take other people's workers, because, oh, my cinema is better. Come watch my movies. Their movies are bad and expensive.
The workers are your visitors, right?
Exactly. The workers are the people who are visiting the movies. Exactly. One amazing thing about the game is that the actual victory points are actual popcorns, which you actually take and physically put in this big popcorn bucket. You can see that
Is
in
it
the
like a
picture
3D
over there.
popcorn or is it like a cardboard?
No, it's cardboard popcorn. Yeah, maybe there's like a deluxe.
Of course there is.
Yeah, or there will be one for sure. But yeah, I've played it now in all player counts, 2, 3, and 4, and I think that 4 works definitely the best because you have more ways to interact with everything. I think it's a cool game. I think just because of the weight, it's not a game that will keep coming out always, but it's a game that with my more casual play groups,
Exactly, that was my point.
are now becoming more and more as we grow older and families are being formed. It's gonna appear more and have a space in my heavy collection.
And I imagine the theme helps with that, right?
Definitely.
To get it to like the common people.
I think it's one of the easiest teaches of a game that has a bit more complex rules that I've had. So that's always good. Have you played it?
I haven't played it.
No.
I am really drawn to the artwork in this game. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a movie buff when I'm not playing board games. And the artwork in this game, I'll just go back to the cover because that highlights it a little bit better, I think. Mostly the posters for each movie, which is the cards that you actually build in the game, right? You can slide it in and
exactly.
I love this thing where you can slide a card into a double-layered board, and then what icons appear is what you get, and then you move it, and it gets just like the gimmicky thing of that is just like.
It's very nice, and it can if you plan correctly, you can do great turns. It's nice. It's very nice.
And for me, just the artwork is enough for me to want to play this at least once because every film poster is obviously a rip-off. I don't know if I'm legally offending someone, but they didn't have the license to do Batman, so they did. I don't know what's called.
Man.
Yeah, BAD man, and it's a cowboy in a black something, or they have like a sci-fi thing that should have been Star Wars, but it couldn't, so it's called something else.
Exactly.
But that's just that's enough for me to want to dig in and just sit and look at the cards and this is that movie and this is that movie. Yeah.
Exactamente.
Cool.
All right.
What is my number 4? This is the first game I bought at Essen 2025, and the first time I saw the game was
2 or 3 years ago.
2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It is Rising Cultures by Aske Christiansen and Francesco Testini. I have talked to Aske about it a little bit. He's a local here in Copenhagen, so and I really think they did a good job. It is a 1v1 civilization builder. So it's only a 2-player game. What you have is 4 different factions: the Persians, the Romans, the Egyptians, and the Babylonians. I'm unsure about the last one, but there's 4, and they all have the same base rules. Your player aid is like a big double-sided book you open, and most of it is just the same. And then you have one side that is like, this is your special power, this is how your cards work, and then there's an appendix for all of the cards in your deck. And once you played it a few times, each faction has their own deck. And I think once you've played it a few times, it's important to know what is in your deck. First time I played it, I just drew some cards and I see what happens. But because you have some mechanics that let you put stuff on the bottom or on the top, and so it becomes really important to know, okay, I know this card is coming later, and that will give me many points if I have many buildings, so I will go for that. So each faction has its own deck of cards, which is 24 cards or something. You play 3 cards each round, and there's 7 rounds, I want to say. Doesn't matter. It's the same circle every time. Each card has 4 uses. If you look at the picture here, you can play it under your player board as resources, kind of like 7 Wonders. You're not spending resources. If you have a brick, then you have a brick, and then you have a gold. And you have one more brick, then you have 2 bricks to build buildings, and each building will require certain amounts of these. Then you can play it as a military on the right side, which is important for contesting point cards in the middle. Thematically, you're fighting over different regions. Then you can play it. You can't play it, but you can get it to your left side, which will increase your civilization's abilities. The green track you can see, and then finally you can play them above your board as either a leader or a building. Those are the base rules, and then obviously each faction has like rule-breaking things that you can take stuff from discard pile and put it in, or you can pay less when you do stuff. Or Egypt has a really cool mechanic where you provide stuff to the other player because you're trading, so you can give me money to get some cool stuff, and yeah, it's really cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Why is it not higher?
That's a good question.
You were gonna ask me?
Yeah, and that's exactly because it was number 1 or 2, right?
It was number 2, I think. It went 1 and 2 with another game in my anticipated. You've played it twice with
I
me.
played it twice with you.
And you've only played it with the
basic
Romans,
factions.
I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Romans and the Persians are the recommended starting factions, so we played with those, and they do feel like beginner factions. After I played all four, I must say that they feel vanilla. Those two, it's still a good game, but it doesn't really utilize the asymmetric nature of this game. Whereas the Egyptians and the Babylonians have really wonky features that like you really have to understand your own rule set and how does this work and how to get points from this. And that's the reason that it fell a little bit for me, because I would like to have five or six factions that I could mix and match and see how they work together. And obviously you can still do that, but I do feel like I'm playing half the game if I'm playing with the Romans or the Persians. Sorry, Aske, but that is my feeling after 4 plays. I am still really hyped about it, and I really hope that they will release an expansion pretty soon. I think he said that they already worked on it.
All right, yeah. As Ulrik mentioned, I've played it twice with the base faction. It felt nice. It felt lighter than I thought it would be.
Much lighter, yes.
When I heard Ulrik explaining it. Still enjoyable. Not like... But, as we probably mentioned already, our top 100 is coming, so have a look there if it appears.
And one way that this game would shine, I think, is with repeated plays with the same player, with the same opponent. Because then you get into a meta game of, I know what you have, that you know that I have that, and then we switch, and then I have your deck, and that I think could be really cool.
Awesome. Speaking about the first game you picked up at Essen, number 3 is the first game I picked up at Essen, and it is none other than Jisogi Anime Studio Tycoon. Jisogi did not make it into my anticipated list because I had known about it and I had seen it. I just thought that at the time it wasn't something that I would dive deeper. Then I saw a playthrough and I changed my mind. Jisogi is designed by Rodrigo Esper, and it is a worker placement game with amazing artwork and theme. In Jisogi, we are struggling anime studios that try to make it out in the world, and you begin with 4 staff members that act as your workers. And as you can see here in the picture, you can send them into these different worker placement spots to actually get you resources and get you the movie parts you need to actually produce a good movie. Every worker has a color, and so does every worker placement spot. So every worker can go to the worker placement spot of its color. There is a Joker worker placement spot where everybody can go, and there is a Joker worker that can go in every worker placement spot. The gameplay is over 4 rounds, and the money are really strict in this game. You really get the feeling of, I'm a struggling studio. You always need to take debts. Debts get more expensive the longer you take to repay them, and it is really that kind of deal. After everybody has placed their workers, we move on to the movie phase, where every player presents their movie, and depending on how well the movie is received, you get reputation, which translates to money and victory points. After 4 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. My first experience of the game was a solo game, and I felt like, okay. Then I played 2-player games of it, and once again I was like, man, that was the first game I got from Essen. I mean, it's cool and all, but... And then came the 4-player game, and everything changed. It's amazing. Hands down, 4-player game. Whenever I have 4 people at my house, this is one of the top options I'm looking at to play, especially if they're a bit more versed into board games. I played it with 3 people that hadn't played it ever. 2 of them were board gamers. One was a gamer, like a programmer, but not a board gamer. They loved it. Loved it. They even came back like yesterday, and then they said, can we play it again? I'm like, let's play something different. We will have options. And yeah, it's very good. I really liked it. Have you tried it, Ulrik?
I haven't tried it, but it sounds like something that would speak to a programmer.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
With the planning, and then I do this, and I can do this, and then I get this. And
yes, for
the
sure.
sequencing. Yeah, I haven't played it. I saw some guys I didn't know played it at our hotel in Essen, and it looked really cool. And they had the same, like, after they played it, yeah, they were 2, and they said, I think it'll be very good in higher play counts. So I guess that's true.
They were very correct.
I have never seen an anime movie in my life, I think. So I'm not drawn in by the theme and the references, but it does look really cool.
Yeah.
When Nick did his unboxing, which is on our channel somewhere, I was really hyped when I saw the actual movie cards.
Yeah, the foiled cards are pretty nice.
They are foiled, but not fully foiled.
Exactly.
That's one, like, whoa, that's a new thing. So it was like a slasher movie with some blood coming out of a neck, and then all the blood was like foil red, and the rest of the card was like faded colors. And I was like, whoa, that reminded me of speaking of movies, Sin City, like the way that movie is made with black and white, and then all the blood is red, and
That sounds cool. Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but 8 different artists work in the cards, and they all like shine through. You can't even tell it's 8 different. They all did such an amazing job working together. So it's very, very nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your number 3, Ulrik?
My number 3 is not a game.
Okay. What
Am I cheating?
Is it a book?
Is it a book? Is it a plane? It's Superman. No, that was a different. No, it is City Space Agencies, an expansion for one of my favorite games of all time, which is called SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. If you don't know this game, go out and buy it right now. It is it's a big table sprawl. Thematically, you're surveying space, trying to find signs of alien life. You're not trying to find aliens. That's a big misconception. You're like actual scientists working on Earth, looking at telescopes or sending a probe to Mars to look for traces of microprobes and stuff like that. Thematically, that's what you're doing. Mechanically, what you're trying to do is trigger some conditions, and then a certain part of the board will flip, and there's some new aliens here. I assume most people watching this video has played or know about the game, but that is like a... So what this expansion does is everything an expansion for a game like that should do. It has, obviously, 3 new aliens, which are cool. They don't break the mold. They offer some new scoring criteria and some stuff you can interact with, which is what the other aliens did. And I think that's actually a cool thing about this game, is that when I bought it, I thought the aliens would be, game-breaking, rule-changing. Oh, we are playing a totally different game now, and actually that's not how the game plays. Okay. It also in the normal game, I feel like you're playing this game, you're getting 80% of your points from what you're doing in every game, and then the aliens are like a little bit of spice on top. And I actually like that. I was disappointed at first, but I think it's actually cool. And it's the same thing these do. And then you have just, I think, 40, 60 new cards for the deck of stuff we already have. Cards that, let you travel around or build stuff or get money and all that stuff. I said stuff. That's a given. Then you have some solo components, which I haven't explored. This is one of my favorite games. I like to play solos, but for some reason, I never wanted to play this game solo.
I've actually played it solo. It's nice.
Then you have some quick start cards, which basically just gives you some more starting resources. And that means that the game is now 4 rounds instead of 5.
That's cool.
It doesn't mean that the game takes a shorter amount of time, because you just get more resources, so you get rolling faster in the first round. So don't expect it to be cutting the playing time. That's the one, for me, not a problem, but it's the one thing that most people say about cities. It just takes too long. My first game took 4 hours. I think now, a 2-player game would take me 2.5 hours or something. Then my absolute favorite part of this expansion is the asymmetric factions, which is, I think there's 12 of them, I want to say, quite a lot. And they give you different starting resources, different starting income, and some special ability. Many of them are, you can do this once per turn. I had a faction where I could play a card for free, but then I put it in the future, and then when I got there, I got that card. Stuff like that. Some will get you income whenever you interact with the aliens, and yeah, that is really cool.
That's cool. Yeah. They work once per round, so you can use it 4 times per game, which is kind of interesting. Some of them have also passive abilities, I've seen that
I think so,
cool.
yes. Yeah. I have played with 3 of them, and I've obviously seen some others, but I think that makes the game really, really cool.
Definitely one of the better expansions this year.
It doesn't do anything crazy, it just does more of everything. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, my number 2 game is a game that was my number 1 anticipated, so we dropped a spot, and you'll see why later. It is Tag Team. Tag Team is designed by Gritcha German and Corentin Lebrard, and it is an auto-battler head-to-head dueling card game. You can see a playthrough of me and Ulrik in the channel down below. And Tag Team is just great. It's just a 10-minute game. You start with 2 different characters out of a pool of 12, I think, and then you have these 2 cards that are your deck. You both place them in the order you want, and then you flip them and you go. Your goal is to KO one of your opponent's characters, and after every round, you will look at 3 cards from a deck, and then you will add 1 to your deck, aka your program, in any space you like. What you're trying to do, you're trying to mind game your opponent, try to get your cards to strike when they don't. And it is a pretty cool back and forth mind game. There is a little bit of a memory aspect that might drive some people off, but for such a short game, I don't think it really matters that much. I am deeply in love with the game. I never expected a 10-minute board game to have those words being spoken by me about it, but believe me, they have, and I'm really looking forward to more and more expansions. I've pretty much played all the characters now, played with and against all of them, and I do have favorites. There are some combinations that can go pretty cray-cray, and there are others that feel a bit weaker and slower, and of course, it's also the part of the draw. But I'm really enjoying this game, and even if a game doesn't go right, just keep in mind that in 9 minutes you'll be playing a different game, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You've played it. You are the undefeated king here.
I played 3 or 4 3 games, I think. 4 games maybe. Yeah, it's for all the reasons Nick just said, I thought I wouldn't like it. Memory game, you can't change the order of your cards. That feels like you're taking options away from me, but actually it's cool in this game. But when you explained it to me, I thought like, yeah, you can keep that. It's still not my favorite game. It's a really cool, like you say, 10 minutes. It can feel, I don't want to use the word random, but swingy.
For sure.
Oh, I'm almost dead, I only have 1 life left, but then I play this card and it gives me a bunch of health, and now you can use your special ability because I have a shield or whatever. What really makes this game shine is the different characters.
For sure.
They're very different. They all have some health going up and down, and they are all references to like cartoon characters or anime movies, or maybe not specific ones, but it's like very obvious, like
Themes of characters.
Yeah. Cool game. I was really put off by the memory aspect, as Nick said, but it's not that bad because you're only putting 1 new card in every turn, and yeah. Cool.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 is a game that I haven't bought, that I haven't played.
Ooh.
I have played a demo of Ada's Dream.
Oh yeah.
So, do you know who Ada Lovelace is?
I do not. Who is she?
First, I will mention that the game is designed by Tony Lopez. And then Ada Lovelace was, I don't want to say a year here, but she was the first programmer in history. At least conceptually.
Probably something I should have known based on my studies.
Because she was the first person to think about making a computer. And she had this idea of the picture in the cover is her computer. And it's like a mechanical computer, right? You're turning a crank and then the cogwheels go and it can calculate and stuff. But what happened in real life is she died. So she never built it. But in this game, you are living in an alternative history where she survived. And then we are playing as her assistants, helping her to make this cool computer. Board looks like this. In the middle of the game, we have all of what I said is cool. It's thematic. It's a Euro with dice drafting and actions you can take. Just to give you an overview of this picture, I'm going to try to narrate. In the middle, there is a round rondel with dice. This is where you take your draft your dice, which will determine your actions and your income and stuff. Then there are 4 different quadrants around that, which is, I want to say, 4 different mini games or places where you can take actions, depending on the color of the die you drafted. Then on the far left, in this picture, there is your player board, which is where you eventually will put all your dice, and this is thematically your computer, which has, at the end of the game, you will add all the dice in rows and columns. You have a 3x3 grid, and then depending on which cogwheels you put in between, they are added or subtracted or multiplied, and that's like half your end-game score. Pretty complicated stuff. You have 2 different kinds of actions or kind of turns. One is you draft a die. When you do that, you do some manipulation of the rondel, which is a little bit too complicated to do now, but I have to move stuff around and then I get a die. I get a resource from where the die is. Then the number of the die dictates which card can I play this turn. And then the color of the die dictates on a later turn, which is the other type of turn, I can take one of the dice. And the color then determines which of these minigames I can do. And then I put that die in my engine, which is then locked for a game.
Simple.
Yeah,
Very
simple.
simple game. Filler game. 10-minute game.
I am worried that it will feel overcomplicated and 4 different minigames, but when I played it, it just felt so smooth. Maybe because I had this really professional demo. We just sat down, we started going, each of us drafted 1 different color of die, and then he could explain the actions while we were doing them, and it just felt really smooth. I'm wondering if it will feel that smooth the first time I play it, but yeah, everything about it just. Whenever you taking the die is like a really big action because you get a resource, get a color, and you get a number, and all of those things have cascading consequences.
Yeah. How does this? I think in the previous episode we rolled last week in the podcast, we was top 10 N and O games. I talked about Newton. Did you say that this had something to do with it?
I think I have. I haven't played Newton. I just think I have seen other content creators say, "This feels like the spiritual successor to Newton."
That sounds kind of cool. Newton was a very interesting game. I think a bit outdated now, but it was pretty cool when I tried it. So if it is a spiritual successor, I'm very excited to give it a go.
One funny thing about this game also is it's not a deck builder. It's a deck
Construction?
manipulation, I would say, because you always have 9 cards. I think 9 or 10 cards. Whenever you get a card, you discard a card. So you can change your deck, but you always have same amount of cards available.
In your hand, all of them?
No, they cycle to a discard and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, and there's a cool way that the market refreshes, so it won't be stale with the new cards and stuff. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I pre-ordered it down there. They didn't have any more copies. I ordered it. Now I got the message from Alicat Games that it is in Poland at their distribution center. So now they say it's out of our hands, but who knows? It will be here next week or next year.
All right. All we can do is dream about Ada's dream.
Oh yes.
Let's do it. All right. My number one game. Let me cheat a little bit. It is a game released in 2025, and it is a game that I actually got from Essen. So it kind of fills the criteria of an Essen game, although it actually wasn't released in Essen Spiel. It was a GameFound game that fulfilled a few months before Essen, and I got it through the auction. And it is Dragon Eclipse. Dragon Eclipse is a big narrative campaign game that has you take the role of a tamer, aka a Pokemon trainer. No, I'm just kidding, copyright. And you have these very cute creatures called Mistlings that you train with them and you go through with different adventures with them. It is a 1 or 2 player game, no other player counts, okay? And the thing is, you go through the narration. The story is actually pretty interesting. And that's something that usually doesn't happen in these types of games. They usually neglect good storytelling. I really like the story in this one so far. I'm like 65% into the campaign so far.
Okay.
Playing it 2 players. And the combat is quick, interesting, and very, very unique. You have this, as you can see here, this is the tableau for the combat. Every player will have a deck of cards that you construct before each scenario, always advancing and making it stronger. Kind of like Pathfinder Adventure card game. It feels if you've played that game. And then at the beginning of the combat, you'll shuffle the deck and you flip 4 cards. Above your 4 cards, you will have an amount of resources you will get for picking that card for the turn. And then you pick the card, you gain the resources, they're called power, and then you use the effect of the card. And the card can move you around, it can attack, it can do special abilities, and so on and so forth. Every Mistling has an element, and every element is strong against another element, kind of like, let's say, Pokemon. And I think it's pretty cool. You can also, very, very exciting, you can tame other Mistlings, aka cats, other Pokemon. So if you tame a Mistling, then in the next scenario you can say, okay, I'll take you with me instead of you. So you have, that's very cool. That's very, very cool. And I know that once you finish the campaign, then there is a new roguelike mode that unlocks that you can go and play as a roguelike. You know my love for roguelites probably.
I was about to say, somebody likes roguelike.
Yeah, a little bit. And of course, if you want, you can also play PvP with them. There is a PvP mode that takes like around an hour. You fight, you switch, there's some drafting. Also pretty cool. I think the game is very exciting. It really blew everything off for me. I really, really love it. There is a GameFound campaign right now for a new standalone expansion. I'm not sponsored by any way by Awaken Realms, even though it sounds like I am. I just love the game very much, and I'm very excited to dive deeper into the game. My number 1, Dragon Eclipse.
You said there's a PvP mode, so the normal mode is co-op?
Yes, the narrative campaign is co-op, yeah. 1 or 2 player co-op campaign.
I assumed, I just wanted you to say it. Yeah. Mistlings.
Yeah.
Are they in any way related to Mistborns?
I'm afraid they're not. No, it's
a little reference
the
there.
mist is with the Y, so the thing is still called Mistlings.
Mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious.
Thing,
yeah. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Once again, never heard about the game. But when Nick put this box in my car in Essen, I was like, that looks crazy. Just the box is really beautiful.
And keep in mind, this is the standard version. There's a deluxe version, and the box is even like crazier. Yeah. You can see this is the combat arena. You can see the box and the rule book.
How much time is a session? If you say like there's a campaign, and
it depends. So you can play the whole scenario, and the scenario is like a few narrations, maybe a few combats, and then that ends. And we've seen that each scenario takes us anywhere between 1.5 to 3.5 hours,
sounds
depending
like
on
a
scenario.
standard.
Yeah, but you can also stop in earlier. Like you can play one combat and stop.
Like
Of
save
course,
points or
yeah, they recommend you stop after a scenario because it's a more natural save point. But you can of course go ahead and save anywhere you feel comfortable.
I assume the box has ways to store your stuff so that you
Oh,
can
the
find
storage
it
in the
again
box is so good. Yes, yes. There's this divider that you put all your cards. It's pretty organized.
Cool.
One thing that is final thing, and I'm stopping, I swear. Final thing is that when you open the box, there is an 8-page instruction manual on how to set everything up. And a lot of people I read in the BGG, when they saw that, they just, I'm selling the game. But for me, that's a nice activity. I freaking love doing that. So those 8 pages that I got and started doing that, it felt so good. So yeah, that is my number one by far, Dragon Eclipse.
I have nothing to add. Nick likes it. Check it out.
I
know nothing about it.
Your number one?
My number one I can talk about. My number one is a game that is by the same designers as one of my favorite games. And it is Recall.
Ooh.
It was not on my anticipated list.
No, it was not.
I watched some playthroughs and stuff, and I thought this will always be compared to Revive, which is the same designers, which I will mention now. I think it's at least the same company. It's Helge Meisner, Christian Amundsen Østby, Kjetil Svendsen, and Anna Wermlund. I believe they're all from Norway. Just from the box size, the artwork, everything, it will always be compared to Revive.
Ooh la la.
And from the playthroughs, I thought, I think I like Revive more, so therefore it sort of just got discarded from my list. But one of our friends bought it, and I played it only once. But it was really cool. First of all, everything just made sense once you got sat down. You have this cool player board where you tuck these key cards, which you can't see on this picture. On the far right, you can see there's like a market of the weirdly shaped tokens you can put in. That's the action selection. You're putting these things in your player board. You're walking around exploring sorry, my brain is not braining. Your meeples are like your money. Every time you do something, you pay with people.
Okay.
I don't think you're killing them, but you're like selling them. So every time you build a building, then they go away. Not that they die, but they stay in your little castle on this map you can see. There's like 3 tracks you go up to get access to you're in some sort of post-apocalyptic world thing, and there's like these 3 old tribes that you are researching to find out what they were doing, and then you learn their secrets and you get some cards, so you get their special abilities. And those 3 tribes will be different in the game. There's like 20 of them or something. That's really cool. One thing that I think this game does really well that I won't say I haven't seen it before, but in many games when I play, I'm like, early game, I'm not going for points because I'm trying to build my engine, you know? So let's get the points later. In this game, the first, I want to say 20 or 30 steps on the point track gives you access to extra powers. So getting points is not just points, it's actually, when you get to like, I don't remember, 10, 15, 20, you get to pick between upgrades for your player board, which makes your engine better.
So you have incentive to go for points early.
Yes, and I think that's I don't want to say a problem, but I always feel bored when I get points in a Euro game, and I think that was really cool. I've only played it once, so I can't speak to replayability and variability and all this stuff, but Ayub taught it to me, and from what he told me, everything just, okay, that's actually okay, cool. And when you put your little keycard in, every action has many different options you can do. You can move your guys, you can build stuff, and you can dig for resources, and lots of set collection with the stuff you find on the board. And one thing that felt not awesome was it was a 2-player play, and I don't think the map scales when you're less players. And it felt like we just he went here, I went here, and then we did our thing. So there was not a lot of interaction on the board. But other than that, everything made sense. It's cool. It's nothing like Revive at all. Almost no mechanisms are similar. Yes, you're flipping tiles in the map. That's sort of it.
Okay.
But I think you will know the icons and the way the rulebook is written. So if you like that game, it will not all the same game, but you will have an easy time getting into it because you know the way they write the rule book and the symbols and all that.
I have a question. You know me. You know my gaming taste pretty well by now. Do you think I will enjoy this game?
I think you will,
Okay.
for the two reasons that whenever you do, whenever you plan your turn, there's like the reason it's called recall is that you can recall your guys and get some income and stuff. So like a pass action which you want to extend, or do you? Because when you do it, you also get some income. So lots of engine building in that. And every time you play something, you have maybe 3, 4, 5 of these key cards, and you can play them in 5 different slots on your board if they are available. Depending on which tribes you have unlocked, there will be so many different options that my brain is going and steam is coming out of my ears. Nick will probably go, do this, and then in the final turn I can do this. No, I'm halfway kidding. And there's some interesting interim scorings, like every time you get to X a number of turns, then there is a track of cards on the side of the board, which you can't see here, but on the left, which has like scorings that will trigger at certain points in the game.
Okay.
So
Sounds cool. Yeah. Revive was definitely a hit for me. I had one of my friends say that Revive will be your number one game if you played it. It wasn't, but it was definitely very good. Now it's been a long time since I played it, so I don't remember anything. But yeah, I remember feeling good about Revive, and from what you said, this looks very, very interesting. All right, let's talk about some honorable mentions here. For me, I will just put all my expansions once again. Nothing changed. It's 4 expansions. I've played 2 of them. One I was ready to play, set it up, but didn't play, and one I just had a demo of. So I kind of know how most of them work, and I'm really excited to play them more. I will talk a little bit about the one that I played the most, the Windmill Valley expansion. It adds a new mechanism to the sipping action. For those of you who don't know Windmill Valley, very quickly, when you take a sipping action, you place one of your resources, which is the flowers, and you get 2 resources. And that's it from the sipping action in the base game. Now, when you do it, you also have a ship that you can move along a track, and whenever you end on the track, you can take the corresponding good from there if you pay for it. That's pretty much it. Also some other stuff, but that's the main part. And I think that's great. It becomes a bit more of a table lock, but because it's an extra board of a side, but I think it felt really nice. Yeah.
Cool. Does it increase your action options, or does it just chain a lot? Or
it gives you more options when taking actions, and of course it does the thing where it adds more cards, and more cards are always nice. But yeah, pretty much it upgrades an action. It changes an action completely. It gives you more options for 2 other actions, and then it gives you more cards to
like that.
general. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool expansion.
Yes, my honorable mentions. From looking back at what we got, one is my original top one. That's not what they call it. My most anticipated was House of Fado. The reason it's not on my list is I've only played it 1.5 times.
Yeah.
1/2 solo to learn it, and 1 2-player game. And this is not a 2-player game because it has worker bumping as a central mechanism, and the board doesn't scale. So there was a variant where you had some extra guys that could bump, but it just became fiddly to handle all that. So I'm hoping it will be higher, but from my experience, I can't put it on my list. I have high hopes that it will go
higher. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited to try it.
Tag team, just because it surprised me. When Nick told me about it, I thought, you can keep that one. I really enjoyed it. Will I ever say she will play it? Probably not. If somebody asks me to play it, I'm down. Sorry, that was...
yeah, of course. Take your time.
And then I'm also cheating a little bit because Agent Avenue is not a 2025 release. It did have an expansion coming out there. It's a 24 release. Lots of people have been raving about it, especially many of the podcasts that I listen to. It's Danish design by Christian Kudal and Laura Kudal. And man, that game is so simple you wouldn't believe it. I have a hand of 4 cards. I pick 1 open, 1 closed. Nick picks one of them. I get the other one. And then we go around this little track. Whoever catches the other one wins. And they have numbers, you go back and forth. That's the game. But man, the decisions you have to make, if I'm putting this, then does he think this is good? Or does he think, he think it's bad, so he will take this? And am I double bluffing him now? And yeah, it takes literally like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, I tried it at Essen as well. It felt pretty good. There is a basic and an advanced mode. Playthroughs for both in the channel, so go and check them out. Especially the advanced game is pretty interesting from as a viewer because I wasn't participating. Yeah, pretty cool game. And do you know anything about the expansion that came out this year? Have you tried it? Do you know about it?
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, that sounds like something interesting, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Is that it? I think we also
have the
top 10 survivors.
That's what I called it, yes. So we just wanted to highlight this was our original list and which games made it through to the top 5, cool. Right?
Oh, so 3 of mine stayed in. All right.
That's good. So either you're good at predicting or you're very boring, just staying in your path.
I will pick the first one. Hercules did not make it to Essen, and Cassette Dungeon, which was my number 3, made it only in German. So that's why I couldn't. So I haven't played those 2, and that's why they didn't appear. If I had played them, then maybe they would have been there.
Yeah.
I did play Ruins though with you. Why wasn't Ruins in your?
I think it's cool. I think it's too long. It's basically a ladder climbing game where you're trying to shed your cards. We all know these games. I play 2 2s, you play 2 4s, yada 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 yada.
Me too.
Then you have deck construction. You put them in, and it is really cool. I've played it twice, and I think both times I'm like, oh, now have to do it again, and all of the rounds you play is almost irrelevant because you're just seeing who wins at the end, and so for that reason it feels a little bit bloated. It's not that the game is bad. It's just I hoped it would be shorter and more like boom 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 boom. It's still cool. I mean, playing with the card talks you can go like. Originally, there's like cards from 1 to 10, and then you can do stuff. And then, in this round, I'm playing 3 17s.
that was crazy. Yeah, I played a lot of climbing games, and this one felt so weird in a good way.
I agree. Yeah, it's just a little bit too bloated because I want to play it with my non-gamer friends, and for that it becomes a little bit. Yeah. Emberheart, I just decided it was too vanilla. I haven't tried it. Fear of the Dark, unfortunately, I've tried to play it once and the rulebook was rough and it felt, I hope I misunderstood the rule because I just couldn't, I had no, I couldn't move and I was just stuck in a corner and there's one card that I need to draw to remove an obstacle and I hope I misunderstood some rules and I wanted to
I would be happy to try it. Give it a spin, see how it goes.
I still have high hopes for it, but for now it's not there. Ruins I talked about, Hearts of Faro I talked about, yes.
All right. Let us know about your lists. I think it is a very interesting topic. Always coming back from Essen with a huge bag of games and try to see which ones made it. I think I played all but 2 of the games I brought back, and I brought a lot back. And I mean, Tag Team and Dragon Eclipse are just way above for me. They are so amazing. Tag Team I knew it was gonna be good because I love auto battlers as a video game genre. But Dragon Eclipse I had no idea it would be that good. I'm just stoked. But as we said, we want to hear what you've picked from Essen. Let us know if we missed any big hitters. We played you played Orloy, for example.
I played Orloy.
Yeah, you played other games that came out and were
And again, this is top 5, so it doesn't mean if it's not here, it's bad.
Exactly. You will have a chance to see our top 100. That is coming very soon. We are planning to release it as a Christmas/New Year's drop. We'll see if we make it. But it will be coming this December, and we are very excited about it. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the other videos on our channel. You can find our podcast on Spotify for now, and you can see snapshots of our game nights on Instagram and our latest news on Blue Skies. Links for everything we talked about will be in the description. And thank you all so much for tuning in. This was Nick.
This was Ulrik.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.